show you kind of how to play this. None of these I want to keep. Firefly is a very good keep. So I'm going second, so which isn't that great. So what I do when I'm on coin with this, we got some. This is a really good keep. Corridor Creeper is a pretty decent keep. It's a 70% keep in your hand. Cauldron is not a good keep, but it just depends on because it's RNG. Depending on what kind of spells and stuff you get, like. So you can coin. I want to coin out both Fireflies. Fireflies are only good in the early game, I think. So you want to just coin both of them out, and then Hero Power next turn. That's kind of the way it looks. And also contest these two, and then contest this Hero Power next turn. Righteous Protector is also really good, but it has the same HP pool if you want to think about it. So I just pretty much play those. I'm trying to think Paladin, so it really doesn't have any 2-drops. He could play 2 more 1-drops because he's playing a mirror deck, so he just decides to play this, which is fine. Which is great. So I'm going to just play this and trade up. And he might have Corridor Creeper in his hand as well, which is fine. So he somehow is able to full trade here, which is good. So this is a pretty good draw for him, but I'm going to play a Righteous Protector into 2 more dudes, actually. Raid Leader is also really good, but I want to just get more dudes on the board. And actually, I don't really want to attack with these guys yet because I have the Cauldron in my hand. And I have Raid Leader, which is really good. It's perfect. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. But now my Corridor Creeper is 0, which is a fantastic draw. Now the question is like, do you want to play Raid Leader or this is also a really good draw. So I want to play. The question is you know, do you want to get push damage or get draw? And, you know, create value. So with Raid Leader, I can push damage. I can also Hero Power. We definitely always play that. I definitely just want to protect my guys, so we play this. Pushing damage is not going to really do anything, but I want to generate just a ton of card draw, really. So I can push this. I want to push my dudes last, really. And see, I just push and I create a ton of cards. So I create a ton of value off this. And Avalanche is really powerful. Frost Shock is pretty decent. What's nice about the Shaman spells, and this hopefully this game will highlight this, is that this is just a really decent card. This is a really awesome card against this particular deck, by the way. So now I get another card. That's really good. So we have the level up now in our hand, which is really good, which means we really want to push dudes. So we want to trade into this. Avalanche is 4 mana, which is not the greatest, but it clears out quite a few guys. Let me see here. We actually don't have a very good play. He can actually clear this thing out next turn. We can actually do this and play Raid Leader. I'm able to do another trade here. It also gets my guys out, but if he's able to, this is actually pretty good if he does level up. So he's on 6 mana right now. That's pretty good. So now I can level up Hero Power, which is fine. So, and he's clearing incorrectly, so I'm getting more spells. That's fine, and this is a really good draw for this. We can actually silence that too and just Frost Shock him. And I don't know why he's trying to overdraw me. It's not really going to work. Now I have too much value in my hand, and he has, you know, I think he has a couple Stonehill Defender cards. He might have some pretty good cards. So I draw another card. But now I can just Lightning Storm pretty much and get lucky. This overloads me 2, which is not the greatest. So this one's really good. Deal 3 damage to the adjacent minions. This seems pretty good. We can actually freeze his face too. So now I can't hero power and level up, but I'm so far ahead of him now. That's fine. We can actually Witcher's Cauldron again, but we can actually Hex. I don't have any deal 3 damage. Freeze a minion, deal 3 damage to the adjacent ones, so that's not too good. Since we only have 5, we do have 5 mana, so we can actually level up these guys. Can give somebody Wind Fury. That's not good. This does 5 damage and overloads 2. He has a 4 mana damage guy now on the board. This is a freeze damage, deal 3 damage to the adjacent ones. This is a 4 mana spell. Wind Fury doesn't do anything. We can just Hex this guy here, though. Grab another spell. Nine cards in the hand. He can overdraw me again, but I have Vinecleaver. We can use Vinecleaver and to level up next turn. He's starting to run out of juice a little bit here. And I have the Flame Shot, Lava Burst to destroy that if I need to. That's fine. So let's just see what we get with Lightning Storm again. Yeah, we get Lightning Storm, Lava Burst. I mean, this guy's mistake is he kind of gave me way too many cards. And he thought that he underestimated the Cauldron, and it just outvalues him way too hard. So let's say he draws like Tyrion or something really lucky. You know, he could have 5 mana next turn. Finally, he silences it, which is not a big deal. We could silence and trade this. We could freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to the adjacent ones. So for Avalanche, and then we could Lost in the Jungle. That seems pretty good. Yeah, now my mana crystals are going to be unlocked. See, I knew he would try to go for something greedy like that, which is fine. So we're going to Stormwind Champion works out really well here, actually. . And now I can just level up and smash him, really, next turn, or I could play another Stormwind Champion. This is one of the rare, very rare cases I think Stormwind Champion pulls out okay. It's not too good. And we can actually play another Cauldron and beat him. Yeah, he has to go face. We can actually Lava Burst that down and actually trade these guys in. So we can Lava Burst that. And now we can give maybe this guy Wind Fury. Or we could play another guy like this. So we can just trade these away here. Oh, I don't want to lose that guy, but I don't have to. I mean, he has to draw like ridiculously well at this point. So you can see the power of the Cauldron really paid off. That one swing turn I had on like turn 3 or whatever. I think I pushed out the raid leader. I decided like, okay, I could push out a raid leader or I could push out the Cauldron, and I pushed out the Cauldron to get more value in the longer game. So we made the guy DC, or he quit because, you know, he realized he got dunked on. And actually, so he's going to summon his 2 guys. I'll just actually do this level up and probably kill him actually this next turn. So the Shaman Cauldron gives you a lot of value spells, and it is an epic card. It works really well with this deck. I'm trying to think of other decks it could work with. Like Zoo Warlock might be another decent deck. So we're playing against a Warrior in Legend rank, which is pretty cool. I was actually playing some Rush Warrior last night, and it's a lot of fun. So again, I'm going on Coin, which is not the strongest because we do have we have a decent amount of 1-drops in this deck. I'm going to swap this dude out here and swap out the Stormwind Champions and this guy. I could keep, again, Stonehill Defender would be okay. But I'm looking for 1-drops. I'm looking for broken cards that are just broke. I want to shuck most of the low power cards in. Okay, so he's not playing a Baku Hunter. He's playing just a regular quest guy, which is nice. So we could actually go like this and then coin out some damage if we want. But we definitely want to use our coin now. We are an aggro deck. Our Maul is for damage. Then next turn I play out the 2 other 1/1s, and on turn 3 I play out this. Usually you play a quest taunt warrior with, I'm trying to think. Turn 2 they don't have really good taunts. They start getting good taunts around turn 5, typically. So, I mean, the Taunt Warrior can still be pretty good, but then the problem with it is that you have to put in, like, these control cards, but we'll see. Like, I'm thinking, like, the Echo card, Whirlwind, really powerful. But the problem is there's so many good 1-drops, like, if you see, like, this one has 1 HP, he goes up to turn 3, then he has to use the Echo thing, right? So, we drew Corridor Creeper, which is excellent. Get these out of my hand. These are better than the 1/1s I can create because if I just hero power for the 1/1s because he can just whirlwind them down. I could have put this. It's the same if I put that on this. That this has 2 HP, and it was able to attack that turn, so it actually dropped down to 29. So I could have put it on this Divine Shield minion, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we're going to give my guy plus attack. I'm going to swing in it, do 2 damage. I'm going to trade in. So anything will die to Whirlwind. I want to preserve this minion. So that's a really good drop. That's the best drop you can get for Taunt Warrior, Stonehill Defender too, by the way. So I pretty much have enough stuff on the board. I'm assuming he does have, you know, a whirlwind type effect. The Divine Shield is better than this, so I'm able to push a decent amount of damage. I'm assuming he picked up a low tier taunt in that card right there that he's able to put down on the board to keep blocking off the minions. But look at how aggressive this deck is. He's on turn 4, he's at 21 HP already. I can play a Quarter Creeper. I did have a pretty bad draw there. This is a decent card to Owl too, by the way, so that's pretty good. We can actually clear and not lose any minions. A hero power. Alright. So now I'm full with minions. There we go. We're able to clear. We actually want to keep that minion. We want to be able to play a minion, but I can actually, I want to keep a minion on the board, so I'm able to just do that. Now I can push another minion on the board if I need to. So I'm assuming he's going to clear it somehow. Hopefully I'll pick up a good... see, this is where like Witch's Cauldron and stuff is also really good. Because every time I'm trading in a minion into his taunt, like I generate a spell. And it's just like drawing a card, so it's crazy. You know, I'm trying to think he could like Brawl. It's pretty good. And I didn't really have a good draw there to do anything with. So my draws have been pretty low. Let's try to preserve these minions if I can. So if I attack in a hair, it's okay. I want to keep my dudes alive if I can. So we want to get this Quarter Creeper down to 1. And then we want a hero power. So we want to keep the dudes alive if we can. Play this. And so now he's under a lot of pressure. Like, he should have probably cleared that last turn, but instead of trying to complete his quest, I don't know how many taunts this guy has because he's sort of playing a stranger version of the taunt. But say now if I draw a level up, so we're on turn 6. This deck can finish people off typically by turn 7. But I mean, I'm on turn 5, and look at the pressure. And I have 2 mana left over, so if I had like Mushroom Power or something like that turn, it would have been even more powerful. So I've just had less than stellar draws this particular game. I would say this is a semi, and also his quest when he finishes it is not going to be that good, because I'm constantly going to be playing dudes all the time. Okay, so he missed his sort of turn there, and so I just want to trade off one of these guys, and I think he's just dead on board. So and we have 6, 8. So we have 8 plus 4. Yeah, he's dead. He's super dead. So then we just needed one good draw here. And that's sort of a match against like a control guy. A control matchup. I hope these 2 games kind of highlighted the power of this deck. Now I'm going to show you guys a Rush Warrior video in the next video, which is a really fun deck, and actually really is a good matchup to this particular deck, I think. Also odd, Mage is actually a really good matchup to this deck, since this is a meta-defining deck. Before I take off, I'm going to explain just briefly why this deck works so well, and I've explained that in my previous Legend video where I got the Legend as well, if you want to go back through some of my older videos. Basically, Hearthstone mechanics works through mana crystals, right? So you start off at 1 mana crystal. So it's typically more advantageous for you to play aggro decks with low 1-cost minions. That's why the Keleseth deck is just pretty good in general, where you can get 60% win rate. You're putting stuff on board. The Paladin hero power provides, you know, really strong dude synergies with level up and Fungalmancer and the Witch's Cauldron. So even losing your guys later in the match isn't a big deal. If you draw a Baku, your win percentage probably drops by about 10%. I'm not going to lie. Because you are losing so much tempo. You pretty much, it's a dead card. Pretty much in any time you draw Baku in any odd deck, you're probably you just drop significantly. I would probably actually drop Stormwind Champion for another Vinecleaver, because Vinecleaver is just so good. It instantly causes 4 burst damage, where you might be playing against another aggro deck, like Aggro Paladin, a mirror match, and your Stormwind Champion goes out on the board on turn 7, which is a really late, heavy turn, and guess what? You can't get anything. This deck is really powerful. The mechanics of Hearthstone favors aggro decks, because the problem with control decks, while like say Cube Warlock is really good at this point in time, they have to actually draw those cards like Defile, Hellfire, things like that, and they actually have to draw those board clears in their hands. And if they don't, you can end up outdrawing them, and then by turn 5, if they don't hit a board clear in their hand, I've seen the Warlocks, they typically just play like a giant. I just ignore the giant, and I play like a Righteous Protector, and they have to send an 8/8 into a 1/1 with Divine Shield, because Righteous Protector is a broken card, right? So they have to really draw well. That's not to say that good cube block players can't do well, but the problem with control in Hearthstone in general is you have to be able to get that draw. So this is a great deck for beginners. It's not, there's a few epics in here. If you don't have the epics, swap them out. There's a lot of different types of decks you can play with. Check out HS Replay with other decks with Odd Paladin in there, and find decks that you can replace with. Corridor Creeper is really good. It's an epic card. Witch's Cauldron, as you saw in my other game, it's a very good card. It's pretty good. Raid Leader, but the rest of the cards are pretty, Baku is the only legendary in the deck, but the rest of the cards are pretty good. So this is a legend deck. You can, if you just want to play mindless aggro and just sort of aggro people down, you do have to know a little bit of mana efficiency, like when I played that Witch's Cauldron, to kind of really get a ton of value. Think about it. If I play a 3 mana thing and I draw 4 cards, yes, they might be random Shaman. That's a huge amount of value, and I'm board clearing you. So yes, it's going to go in the late game. It's going to maybe look like you're going to beat me, but eventually you're just going to have to be top decking the entire time. And eventually you're going to top deck, and you're going to get like Argent Squire, and you're just going to get just dumped on, right? So like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.